Back at Soledad Canyon today to try to find some more mine adits, but thought I'd point out that some of the cactus flowers are in bloom. These are really pretty. On the south side of the San Gabriels, it's actually kind of drizzly, you know, not too wild, mostly like this misty rain. We had something similar, I think, a week or two ago, but yeah, on this side we got some blue skies. So, you know, it's still quite cloudy for the most part, but definitely more visibility here. Don't know if you can hear it, but a train just passed by and a bunch of the coyotes are howling. It's very beautiful. Hopefully you can hear it. So I think these are copper mines, and you get these nice blue minerals. I don't know exactly what this is. It's either chrysocolla, azurite, malachite, maybe a little of each or a few, but very beautiful blue rocks here. So I did go in this adit here last time, and it's really nice. I'll put a few video clips of that adventure. You know, really neat. Lots of cool stuff there. I remember there were, you know, some people leaving, I don't know, stuff inside, but just so you're aware too, there's another adit over there. Here's that second adit, you know, and warning, if you do find this and go in there, there are definitely signs of questionable characters, you know, doing stuff in there. Maybe a little unsavory, but yeah, anyways, I'm gonna poke around here and then kind of make my way up the mountain. Because I think I checked it out on Google, and there's definitely a chance we'll find something really cool. So this area definitely looks like it was quarried at one point. I'm not seeing any adits at the moment though. There may be more somewhere here, but it does kind of look like someone was poking around here, maybe with a rock hammer sometime recently. You know, this is pretty fresh. Some of this looks dug out, you know, but yeah, still a lot of pretty wild blue-green mineralization here. You know, very nice. And yeah, I'm gonna keep making my way up, as I said before. Got the old remnants of a mining road here, and sure enough, a big tailings pile with some yeah, nice blue copper carbonate staining here and there. Actually kind of all throughout. So yeah, some of this may be azurite because it's pretty blue, although it could just be chrysocolla. Well, wait, that could be azurite. Give me 1 second. So I know, like, pure azurite can be really dark blue. Yeah, this dark blue staining here, could be like maybe a mixture, chrysocolla, malachite. Malachite's a little more green. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. But yeah, so lots of really nice green copper carbonate minerals here. Copper hydroxide, stuff like that. And there's a little more over there, so I'm gonna go be careful here because it's definitely loose, but it's pretty obvious that at some point something was going on here, you know, little can. Definitely a big tailings pile, but no obvious adit. So, you know, it could have been they just sort of had a big section of this, you know, I don't know, just exposed, you know. Could be where they processed ore too, I don't know. But yeah, this is all obviously really quite beautiful. So I may get some photos real quick. But yeah, as I suspected, I may poke around a little more, but it doesn't look like we'll have an adit in this pile here. It's always fun to poke around and look for the really vibrant blue-green rocks. You know, there are a lot of them here. So I don't know, you know, a bunch of good specimens, you know. But yeah, I don't have all that much time today, really. It's kind of similar to last time. You know, I'm just you know, trying to cover some ground, but I don't know, it doesn't hurt to poke around a little here and there. I think I'm about halfway up, hard to tell, pretty steep gradient. But yeah, I saw these flowering yuccas in this area, and I thought it might be worth it to kind of, you know, not follow the trail, which is really convenient. Maybe more of a fire break than a trail. Check this out, right? So there is I'm not going there yet, but those are the tailings on the other side of the canyon, but I think there are some tailings on this side of the canyon too, so maybe we'll get an adit, maybe we won't, but I think it's worth poking around. So this here may have been what I was looking for. You know, no obvious adit, but there are a few copper carbonate minerals here. So definitely copper mineralization. There is, you know, there's more minerals, I guess, but kind of a little trail going down that way, so I might check that out before pushing the elevation. This is that tailings pile saw from lower down back there. And yeah, not sure we'll get an adit here, maybe. Dang, no adit, all right. Well, there are, you know, some copper carbonate minerals here, all this green stuff you're seeing. And along with it, pretty substantial tailings pile here, you know, so a lot of this stuff has the copper carbonate minerals, which is good, but no tunnels to crawl in. So yeah, still very beautiful. Nice to see all these green rocks here. Might get a few photos. So I'm coming around into another section of the canyon here, and it does look like there may be some tailings right up there. So possibly we'll get lucky, I guess. But the first, I guess two or however many, 2 or 3 new spots haven't really been all that great. So anyways, on to the next one. Also, when I say not that great, the minerals, you know, all those copper carbonates are pretty awesome. I'm just saying not all that great in terms of adits I can kind of climb into, you know. It's fun to go, you know, sort of caving in the LA area. But yeah, we'll see what we find up here. There are copper carbonates here, right, in this pile of tailings, you know. So pretty cool. Not quite as many as back there at this stage, but there could be an adit right up there. Wow, all right, well, I don't know if you can see this as well as I can, but definitely an area where mining occurred. And it looked so promising, actually, as I was getting close. But the adit, if there was an adit here, it's definitely been buried over time. So yeah, it is what it is, you know. These few spots here, just, you know, you're just not getting these tunnels. But, you know, you just don't, you'll never, even if you don't find maybe what you're hoping for, you don't know if you don't look, you know. So happy I checked these out. I'm gonna try to keep maybe going up, and sunset's in a little while, but kind of getting dark with all these clouds here. So I'll probably get to maybe near the peak, maybe at the peak, and then descend down to those, which I'm a little more optimistic about. And yeah, we'll see what we find. Down there, there's an adit with like an almost vertical drop. Pretty wild, but I remembered seeing kind of a bunch of little caves along here. So I'm not doing that today, but at some point I may explore these caves. But yeah, anyways, this trail makes things a lot easier than being off trail where it's all slippery. And should be to the summit soon. There is a kind of a road here at this point, so pretty cool. 2 twin little pine trees right over there. These are those pine trees, I think. Yeah. 2 pine trees, and whatever this is, this appears to be at the summit of Parker Mountain, or at least what I think the summit of Parker Mountain is. And yeah, happy I decided to go a little further. It wasn't that much further, and yeah, it was a bit of a climb, not too bad to be honest. And any of you making peak signs, looks like the Parker Mountain peak sign needs to be fixed. So yeah, anyways, 4,131 feet, you know, and yeah, I don't know how far that is from the, you know, canyon road, but yeah, quite a climb over a short distance, I'd say. Nice to be at another peak, even if the sign is kind of incomplete here, you know, so. But yeah, anyways, that being said, I'm sure the views might be better on a different day. All right, let's look at this. Be a righteous person. Do what is righteous. Above all, love. Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Yeah, nice little biblical part of scripture there. So yeah, I love seeing these crosses, and I definitely appreciate them. There are definitely a bunch throughout the mountains, and I know quite a few out in the San Gabriels too that I should revisit at some point. And, other ranges like the Verdugos, you know. All right, so yeah, that's the ridge, and the tailings piles are right over there. Kind of hard to see, but I think I'll be able to make it to them pretty easily. I was just up there in the section where the clouds are blowing over, and I had to backtrack to get to this, which I think is maybe a better route. These may be the last 2 chances I have to find a new mine tunnel today, so that's the hope. Last time I was here, I got 4 of them, but this time, at least so far, nothing. This right here is the first tailings pile on this side of the canyon that I've seen, and there could be an adit right around here, so gotta be a little careful, slippery, got some sharp plants, but we'll see in a few seconds, right? Let's hope for the best and expect the worst. Yeah, not super obvious at this stage. Looks like if there was something, yeah, may have just collapsed, so that's unfortunate. I'm gonna get down there a little more and look at the tailings. Another tailings pile, not too promising in terms of being able to go underground, but a bunch of the copper carbonate stuff here, so definitely just keep picking this up. It's not, there's some there, it's kind of all over, anywhere where you see these big piles of tailings, right? This is a new piece, I did chuck some down. You just see this stuff everywhere. This doesn't look like it goes underground, but instead you got this nice these nice carbonate minerals on this quartz here. You can see this really blue mineral, right? You got the blue staining, the green staining. I think the blue stuff is probably really fine-grained azurite, and I would say I'm not seeing as much of the blue here, at least in these rocks. Mostly you have the turquoise colored stuff, so pretty neat. But yeah, you do have a lot of this in the area. So I got confused actually. You do have one more chance for an adit, right? Can you see it? Yeah, right here. So I can see this from the other side. I wasn't really sure if what I saw back there was this, or if I would run into this. But yeah, right here, big depression in the rocks. So there may be a mine tunnel. I don't know. If there is, I'm definitely gonna go inside. Dang, okay. Kind of sad again. Yeah, okay, so there's this, no tunnel here, unfortunately. Dang, all right. Be maybe a little careful here. But there could have been something I could have maybe dug out at some point. This has obviously been worked, and you can see some of the copper carbonate blue, that blue streak right there. So, and even more blue, I don't know, right here. Yeah, so pretty cool. And as always, as we've seen a bunch today, lots of blue mineralogy here, turquoise colored copper carbonates, lots of this stuff. So yeah, well, less adits, lots of minerals. Spots like this where the rock's all loose, and then you look down and start seeing copper carbonate, copper carbonate, more copper carbonate. It could just be the rock here, but it does make me think that there could be more tailings and maybe adits in this area. No idea though, but maybe, we'll see. I'm actually kind of optimistic here. So there's a bunch of copper carbonate there, and it looks like I might be able to get under that. I have no idea. I'll head down in a second though. This is great, okay. Really nice way to end the day actually. I didn't think I'd find anything here, but yeah, okay. Definitely going inside this one. Finally found an adit, right? That whole whole loop up the Parker Mountain, all those spots, and nothing. You come in the creek bed here, and this. So very cool. I'm gonna get some photos and then get my lights out and crawl inside. This may be the Bluebelly Mine. I think this looks familiar. I may have seen this on this guy Al's channel at some point. I'll put the name of the channel here. But yeah, you got this really nice blue vein here of maybe some sort of copper carbonate mineral. So yeah, I'm gonna start crawling in here in a sec. You know, I got this light should be plenty bright, you know. But yeah, give it a sec. All right. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a big one. I think I'm gonna get a photo here real quick, just at the entrance. Really nice and beautiful, and I can see a lot of blue copper minerals up there. That blue stuff. So I bet this one's gonna be wild. All right, this is pretty neat. You definitely have a good amount of copper carbonate on the ceiling here. And yeah, this is really quite something though. You know, I've seen copper carbonate minerals in mines, but just having the ceiling be this incredibly blue, it's really quite something. Wow. Oh my God, that is amazing. Look at this. Look at those botryoidal kind of structures there. That's what I like to see. I'm gonna get some more photos. I'm sure maybe there's not too much more back here, but just, wow, this whole area is just stunning, you know. So I'm definitely gonna photograph this. Sorry, I hope this footage comes out decent. I'm a little overwhelmed by the beauty of this blue here, you know. I think you'll like this. So this is the base, and as you start to come up, you got kind of these iron oxides, iron hydroxides, some green carbonate here. Then you get up further into this more blue carbonate, you know. So a lot of these circles here, botryoidal textures. I don't know the actual name. And the top is just exquisite, you know. Lots of really fine blue crystals just growing on the granitoid rock here. So real nice. Yeah, anyway, let's see how far back this goes. This could just be the end. Yeah, so I mean, you still get copper minerals here. Looks like there might have been a spot for dynamite there. But yeah, anyways, really great way to end the day. So very, very, very beautiful mine. I think I'm gonna get a few pictures here where it's blue and you can see the entrance. I think that's pretty unique. At least you know, in this context here. I think this is pretty wild, at least you know, in my experience. Sorry for not talking too well, you know, I'm just kind of in awe. Yeah, this perspective is just incredible. So again, lots of really beautiful blue copper minerals here. And yeah, got a little bit of old stoping, I guess. It's not really connected to the walls of the mine here, but yeah, really nice way to kind of end the excursion. I'm pretty close to where I parked, and there may be more mines here, I don't know, but happy I found this.